You are a machine. Okay, you are a living machine. You are a system made up of a series of systems that integrates into a giant system that is your existence. And here's the thing, you get to program and operate this machine however you want. You have complete control over the design and operation of this machine that leads you to living the quality of life that you desire. But you have to realize that it is on you to learn how to program this machine and operate it at a high level. Welcome to Build with Rob. You know what it is. I'm just out here living the human experience at a very high level, just trying to share what I am learning and living as I go with all of you that choose to listen to this philosophy that I have that I call the machine mindset. And for me, you know, this week I just really wanted to speak again on, hey, how does this machine work, and how are you the machine? How am I the machine? And how do all of these different parts inside the machine actually create the output that is that harmonious, high quality existence that I talk about, but ultimately the happiness in your life. And, you know, and as I've been thinking a lot about you know, myself as a machine and sort of all the different parts that I have, and how over time it's just gotten more and more complex and super dynamic, and a series of systems and bodies and people that are involved in allowing this giant complex universe around me to operate through me in a super effortless manner. I realize that it's a skill set that I continue to get better and better at, and I just haven't reiterated in a while about the importance of really understanding that you are this beautiful, amazing machine, but you have to program the machine in order to get it to do what you want it to do. You know, and as I always speak, like, you're going to design the parts of this machine and grow and evolve them over time to make them more efficient, better outputs, more purpose, all of these different things that collectively integrate to make up the whole you. And you know, again, think about even what evolution is. Like, evolution in your existence is by definition, you know, taking things from the simple to the complex, you know, over a period of time. And that's what you're trying to do. You're trying to evolve and grow into your potential. And when you look at yourself through this lens of like, no, I am a machine, and I have got to learn to program it and operate it in order to gain control of my time, energy, and reality, to guide it, you know, guide my evolution towards living the life that I know I deserve to live. I know I am meant to live. I know is possible for me to live. If you're at least in the place of like, you have belief in the core concept that you have the ability to design a better future for yourself, and that you're willing to put in the work, this is another way that I think you have to think about yourself in order to get more clear on how you can do that. And for me, it's like, you know, you didn't create the machine, okay? You didn't create it, and you didn't program it in the beginning either. You were born into a set of genetics, you know, whatever they may be, okay? You could be against it. You know what I mean? You could have got some wonky genetics, right? You could be up against it right now. But if you're listening to this podcast and you're looking for inspiration on how you can rewrite your previous design, whether it be wonky or not, you're at least in the right place and in the right mindset to begin to reprogram it. But think about it. You know, you're born into an environment and a world that's programming you and shaping you that you have no control over. right? In the very beginning, it is the limiting beliefs or the set of beliefs, the core beliefs that your family have, that they instill in you. It is then the type of friends that your family have that then allow you to be around the friends that as you grow, that they begin to program you. You begin to learn beliefs and different things. You have these different experiences that are now happening that you don't know how to assess or fully understand, that go into your programming. And now you get pumped into a school that creates this entirely new framework of like trying to push you to follow a framework that they're familiar with, that's ultimately going to guide you to what they believe is leading you towards a better, happier life, right? And that's, be afraid of this and work really hard and try to get a better education and try to get a better job and eventually buy a house and make sure you get married and have kids that you can instill this programming in and so that they can go get a job one day. That entire makeup of your entire early journey is how you've been programmed. And depending on the depth of what has happened to you, what you've experienced, what you've learned, the type of risk you've taken, the type of success you've had, the self-belief that you created, or the insecurities that have been created in you, all of that was this programming at an early stage in your life that you really had no control over. And depending how old you are, you begin to naturally understand that and begin to see that. And you take measures and steps to do different things to try to improve on. There's different aspects of your programming that you may not necessarily like. But there's a lot of things that you just continue to do for the rest of your life that basically, create what I like to say disorder by design inside the machine. It is these certain ways of being based off of how you look at yourself and the world and how things work, of how you have programmed everything that you rely on to be your operating system in life. And to me, I don't care what stage you are at, the moment you realize that you have been programmed to operate a certain way and that you actually have the ability to look at your entire system and all the systems that are inside it and begin to redesign it based off of the person that you want to become, programming it the way that you want it to operate, and then getting better and better at operating it, that is when you can begin to truly make change, And for me, let's think about it now. The moment you stop and do that, you're just version 1 of you. It's almost like forget about trying to be you're trying to jump ahead up to version 5. You're trying to be iPhone 12 when you haven't even got the iPod cooking yet. You know what I mean? It's like you have to realize the moment you have this sort of realization that this is a possibility, that you're going to create V1. And guess what? V1s are always the worst. The V1s are not good. You know what I mean? But it is part of the process of evolution. And as you look at your life through that lens of how do I really, set off on seeing all the parts that make me up, and then ultimately beginning to design each of these parts, and then making each of them better and better so they integrate into the whole to make me better, is the skill set that you really want to develop, and you ultimately will begin to understand how everything actually works together and trades, time, energy, and mind share, and all of these things that you'll learn about yourself, that you'll know that I don't like doing that. I love doing this. This gives me energy. This takes energy from me. Like this part of my life, I don't spend enough time with my friends and family. Okay, I want to reprogram for that. I want to be healthier. All right, I'm gonna design a system and reprogram for being healthier. All right, I have financial insecurity. security. I never saved money. All right, I'm going to reduce my expenses and now start saving money and learn about investing. Like, all right, I'm currently in a situation with a job that I do not like. Like, all right, I'm going to begin to develop and dedicate mind share to learning a new skill or talking to new people or looking at a new opportunity to get to a place where I have a job that I like. Then the journey just begins. It's V1 of you, whatever stage you may be in. The moment you look at how it all integrates together and you design your first bit of design for it, like, man, it is, again, where you immediately feel the energy, the dopamine of a better future you starts immediately. You know, and then you get to grow into you over time by continuously upgrading you and redirecting your evolution as you expand into life and gain more and more knowledge. You know, because so often, you know, when we're not willing to step back and look at like our entire being and all the parts that work together and how do we improve each part to improve the whole, we tend to just attach all of our potential happiness to outcomes. You know, it's like we just really look at like, forget about my health or like being balanced or like spending time with my family. If I can just get this company off the ground, if I can just work for, 3 more years in this startup, then like if it exits, right? All of these ifs and whats and attaching all of these things to outcomes, which to me is like, if you design a life that's being attached to outcomes and you're putting super high stakes on these completely unpredictable sort of bigger identity-based stakes, it's never going to be worth it when you get there. Like, I promise you, if you had 2 choices, design your existence from a harmonious state, look at yourself as an integrated system inside the giant system, and then your goal is to get really good at building the machine that is you, and over time growing into the success that will provide further fulfillment. It will be so much better, so much more enjoyable, and you will have so much more patience in the journey rather than thinking you're going to work 18 hours a day on the one thing that's going to be the moment it's successful, then I can work on the machine and then try to find harmony and balance and all this. It won't work. It seems like it will work, and for certain people it has in the past. If it was a short amount of time and like you sacrificed a certain amount of period because you had a deep understanding of where the payoff was and you achieved it and then went on and lived your life of harmony, but it's rare. It's rare. And then when you tie your identity and all these stakes to that moment, and it doesn't take the 3 years that you thought, it turns into 5, turns into 7, and then it finally happens, but not quite like you thought, you are going to get there exhausted and lost. Because you're going to have to start over again and be like, okay, maybe it's this new thing will make me happy because that didn't make me happy. You want to fall in love with the absolute like thrill of continually surprising yourself. You want to continuously blow yourself away at how much better you're becoming. You want to get dopamine from your self-generating dopamine machine that is a well-designed, integrated a machine that is you, that's continuously being upgraded on a nonstop, ongoing basis. That's where you want to find your joy. Because the beauty of like looking at your life through that lens and understanding that, it's dare I say, about the process rather than the outcome. I don't want to simplify it all the way to that level. I think a lot of people will say fall in love with the process and then the outcome's inevitable. But I look at it more through the lens of you know, think how amazing it is to upgrade your phone. Think how amazing it is, like especially if you're, things are tight and you jump from like a 9 to a 12. Man, you just felt like you just unlocked a new magical level of earth. It's like, in the car world, when you go from like, used old car to then like a slightly new car to your first brand new car. I can't look. My soul still radiates when I think about buying my first brand new Honda Civic in 1993. I mean, I'm radiating. Now, make no mistake, I got that thing home and had buyer's remorse because I had no business buying a brand new Civic back in 93. I kind of overshoot the mark. I overshot it. You know what I mean? But it's that reality of think of all of the times that you've upgraded different aspects of your life. Where you live, what you drive, your computer, dare I say your significant other. It's all of this is the power of what it feels like to continually evolve and reach a higher level. Now imagine that through the lens that you are the machine and that your life's like number one skill that you've got to go out and develop and get amazing at is programming you. Deciding what outcomes you want your life to become, learning everything about yourself, getting better at setting goals, getting better at managing your energy and your time, all these things that make up sort of the components that are you, only you just keep getting better at making it better. It's the same joy and feeling that you have already know what it feels like when you've bought material things and continuously bought them, upgraded them, but it's yours to have forever. And what's the output? A higher quality life on an ongoing basis, an easier to operate life, a more thorough and understanding of yourself, all the parts that make up you, and then continuously making sure that you're in an environment and in a world that you are that is supporting the system that you've created for yourself, and you're integrating into the world around you that just continuously keeps you in this harmonious, ever-expanding state. You can do that. And it is literally the ultimate way to live, and I'm think about, the way that I do this show and speak on how, all of these different things and philosophies that I practice and live through. I've been thinking a lot lately about more of the fundamental pieces of like, why does it feel so extraordinary for me to just live? Why does every day feel so amazing? And it is because I have complete control of all of the systems that integrate together to make up me. And I just keep getting better and better at me. And getting better and better at me has made living this life easier and easier. I am in complete and total control of all of the systems. They've all been designed with intent. They all are all operated with intent. And every time I find any bit of friction or anything that is not allowing this machine to operate in a completely harmonious state, I change it. And as the world and the systems around me are changing, I continuously upgrade myself on a non-stop basis. And, I refer to it in other language as perpetually evolving into my limitless potential. But it is this continually upgrading my overall machine based off of what I know is going to make me happier and ultimately continue to keep me in this harmonious state of which I have seen exponential growth in achieving goals and life milestones and all of these things that you feel like you would need to sacrifice to ever get to. I just continuously see them happening in my life and happening on a nonstop basis that leaves me just in awe. I'm in awe of what continues to happen. But for me, I know that that's actually the secret to it all. Like, you want to be growing and finding success from this fully balanced, harmonious state, and you want to get to a level where you can't even believe that this is your life. That's how I feel. And I also know that anybody can do it. That anybody can do it. And you just have to begin to look at yourself as the machine, in that you are not the person that created you, not the person that created the bad programming that you were forced to learn to operate with, but you are the person that has complete control to reprogram it and start version 1 of you right now. And version 1 of you is going to be basic. Okay, you're basic. You're basic. But you are going to understand how V1 operates. You are now the platform. And you are going to be able to continuously upgrade yourself, guide your evolution in a harmonious and peaceful way, where you will continuously now achieve your goals, reach your milestones, become the person that you always dreamed you could be. And at the end of it, you've now developed the skill to continuously get better and better at operating you, the machine, till the day that you die. It is the ultimate gift that you can give yourself. And it's something that I wish for everybody, and especially anyone that takes the time to listen to this show. I wanted to reiterate this philosophy because it is at the core, and you don't have to, have crazy time mastery and have all my data and everything that I go into to operate my machine at this high upgraded level, because you grow into this level over many years. And I'm at V like 65. You know what I mean? I don't even, it's as if like whatever version of the iPhone can teleport you. That's basically the version of like Rob that I'm at right now. And I know that everybody can eventually get to this level. And that is what I want for everybody. Because, we're all just trying to live that harmonious, high-quality life. And in order to do that, we've got to continuously design ourselves in a way that we live in that perpetual state. And you know it, and you believe in it. So look, appreciate everybody for always tuning in and listening to the latest rant. Like and subscribe. Send this to somebody who needs to step back and look at their whole life and begin to design a new life and reprogram themselves based off of what has happened in their past. Send this to them. And again, like, comment, subscribe wherever you listen to the show. Appreciate every single one of you as always, and always be looking to the future, always be designing, and always be putting in the work it takes to get you there. Until next time, see it, believe it, do it.